In the preface, you describe your approach as strongly chronological, showing students the mutual interplay over time of society, politics, ideas, beliefs, and material conditions. Could you talk a bit about this chronological approach and its advantages to students?
Well, I think both of us believe in maybe a slightly traditional way that there are societies and civilizations that at particular moments you can actually see, whether it be in ancient Athens or in Renaissance Florence or in 17th and 18th century Paris, a world in which a particular set of standards and ideas come together, in which people have shared ambitions, a shared way of doing politics, and a shared way of trading and building. And you can actually see the ways in which these things influence each other, the way in which, for example, in the democratic Athens of the 5th century, there's a politics of openness, an argument that the city should be open, should encourage people to come to Athens, to see it, to settle in it, even if they don't become citizens, to enrich it with their industry. This, in turn, helps to build Athens into a more and more powerful city, more and more disproportionately powerful to the rest of Greece, which in turn reinforces the Athenian sense that their form of government, with its openness and its popular participation, is the key to success. So there are relations between the different things that are going on in the world of society, economy, politics, and we try to show this. One of the ways that the book does this is with its wonderful city life sections, which really try to give a sense of life as it was lived in a very graphic and granular way in different kinds of urban organization.
Mm-hmm. I agree with Tony entirely. I would just add that I think I've always found it most effective to teach chronologically. I don't like breaking off the story, because there is a story here. Mm-hmm. And if you break it off to say, all right, now I'm going to take a week and teach you about the Industrial Revolution, mm-hmm. and I'm going to start in the early 18th century in Britain and move all the way through the mid-19th century, that has a certain unity to it, but at the same time students will get lost. They don't see how this interacts with all the other things that are happening in the West at the same time. And I think it is much more effective and more meaningful for the students to see always how the economic, the social, the cultural, the religious, the intellectual changes are all building off one another, are all interacting with one another, and that and again just to see each moment as a kind of snapshot of where this complex society is. The story may be very complex, but it is a story, and I think it's simply more effective to teach it that way.
Yeah, David's absolutely right. Historians are storytellers before they're anything else, mm-hmm. and we try in this book to tell the story in a way that will keep students reading and keep them engaged. And I completely agree that telling things in chronological order is the way to do that. It is also the way to show the extraordinary interaction of things that are not clearly connected, that Europe's dramatic expansion after Columbus's first voyage in 1492 and the breakdown of the Universal Catholic Church. These are things that happen simultaneously, and to an informed person, the ruler of a state, for example, or a powerful citizen in a merchant city, is thinking about reacting to being changed by these two revolutions at exactly the same time. And it's only chronology lets you show that in a vivid and comprehensible way.
Absolutely.